CocaineBear, a comedy thriller film that is now available to check out on VOD and is also still playing in theaters. I still don't understand why this movie is so popular, but let's talk about it. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. The film stars Keri Russell, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ray Liotta, Isiah Whitlock Jr., Brooklynn Prince, and many others, and was directed by ElizabethBanks. I saw the trailer for this movie, and I just thought to myself, this looks absolutely stupid. There's no way I'm going to be spending any money in a theater to check this film out. And the director that's behind it, ElizabethBanks, she has a terrible record of any movies that I've ever liked. She's made Movie 43, which is an awful movie. Pitch Perfect 2, which is an okay sequel to the first one. I would say that's probably her best movie. Charlie's Angels, the remake, that movie's horrible. And then you have CocaineBear, which I really wasn't a fan of this movie either. I don't really understand the hype for this movie. You have this cocaine that drops into the forest. This bear eats it and he goes crazy. And I will say that the bear does look realistic. He does look really nice on screen. It doesn't look that he's CGI, even though obviously he is. So they did a really good job of designing that bear. I felt that his kills, they were kind of repetitive. You see a couple times where you have a leg ripped off, some blood here and there. You have some humor as well, but I didn't really feel like we got a lot of bear action. We spend a lot of time with really dumb characters in this. I didn't really like any of the characters in this. However, I did think that Isiah Whitlock, he was the black detective that took over this case of this bear. I found it that he was really funny in this, mainly because he seemed like he was in an episode of Law and Order, and that was probably the funniest part about the film. Of course, there's a few certain little jokes here and there that had a laugh or a little chuckle out of me, but I don't really understand the hype for this film. I don't understand why people really love this film, but to each their own. Liking this movie, if you love it, that's great. I just felt, as watching this film, I felt at times that I just felt that this is kind of a chore to watch. The characters are really annoying at times, and it was really hard to really latch on to anybody. I felt sorry for the bear in a way, and I heard about the real story about this bear, how he actually passed away. So, I don't know, I just don't feel like this is a joking matter, I guess. Maybe I need to lighten up or something, I don't know. But I just felt like the humor in this, it never really grabbed me, and I just was kind of just left there just feeling that I'm somebody that's really in the odd man out here, in the minority of not liking this film. I had a few other friends that checked out this film, and they kind of said it's a one-time watch, and I definitely feel this is a one-time watch. I can see where this film probably is going to have more sequels now. Again, this is another film that feels like a streaming film. I feel like this year, a lot of the films that we have been getting, it seems like a lot of leftover stuff that they're just kind of throwing into theaters, and they don't really have a lot of big production movies as much. And I think that's mainly because a lot of the COVID movies that have dropped, they dropped last year. And we got a really good year last year. But I felt so far this year, we've gotten a lot of mediocre to not really good movies. This one, it's just another kind of mediocre movie. Nothing that I would revisit. Nothing that really makes me kind of just want to watch this again or really laugh again. It's not a very good story, and I think it was missing a lot of bear action that it really needed to elevate the film, and I was really disappointed by that because I really wanted some more bear action. I wanted a little bit more ripping of limbs and stuff, and I just don't think we get enough of it. I think it's a little bit tame. And going back to the characters here, not only do they spend too much time really kind of getting you to really care about these characters, but there's too much dead space in between each scene with these characters. There's also too many characters, so that really does bog down the film a lot. And I think overall for me, this movie, it just really missed the mark with what it promised. I felt like it wanted to advertise one thing, but we get a bunch of characters that we really didn't care about. We didn't ask for a bunch of random characters that we could care less about. Half of them are really stupid anyway, so I just don't understand why the choice to really focus on the characters more so than focus on the bear action. I would give it a 2 out of 5. a very meh film at best, a streaming film at best. I mean, I'm glad I didn't go to a theater and check this film out, because I would have been mad after watching this film, because there were points in this film where I felt really bored and it felt a little bit of a chore to watch because I didn't care about the characters. So that's my score for this film. What did you guys think about this film? Did you love it? Did you hate it? If you haven't checked it out yet, are you going to check it out? Thank you guys for listening to this review, and I will see you guys on my next review.